Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV and our watch along for the FA Cup 4th and 5th round draw. My name is Ben Kelly, I'm here in the studio. Joining me via Skype are Paul and Chris. Hello lads, it feels like the tables have turned here. I feel like, I'm always the one sat at home and being spoken to. I feel quite powerful. I mean, I'm sat here in the studio with all the lights on. Anyway, I know. So it feels
Enjoy
good.
it, man.
I know.
Because it isn't going to last
fucking
long.
I know it's not. I feel like any one of you at any point could just come and kick me out. So yeah, we're here. Obviously, it's quite a new concept really for the FA to draw both the 4th and the 5th round at the same time. They're saying that's supposed to help with fixture scheduling. But before we get into some conversation, it's worth knowing some key information ahead of the draw starting. So Liverpool, obviously the reason you're all here, are ball number 23. So there's 32 teams left in the hat. 23 but Liverpool ball number 23. Some key opposition numbers to look out for that I've got written down. Chorley, who are the lowest ranked team left in the competition, they are ball number 3. Tottenham number 4. Man United ball number 8. Everton, ball number 10. Crawley Town, who knocked Leeds out on Sunday, are ball number 19. Manchester City are ball number 25. Chelsea are ball number 27. Top of the Championship, Norwich are ball number 29. And Neil Critchley's Blackpool, who knocked out West Brom in round 3, are ball number 30. So they are some key balls to look out for. I'm sure, obviously, if you're all watching the draw, the other numbers will be on the screen for you as well. So, Paul, the fixture scheduling, the way they've sort of pitched this to us. I mean, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. Rounds 4 and 5 being drawn at the same time. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? Because, like as I say, we've never seen this done before. I think it's just down to the way that the season's been so hectic, and it helps managers. But if you look at this from Liverpool's perspective, from Jurgen Klopp's perspective, does it become a bit more tactical if you know who you're potentially going to play in round 5 before you've even played round 4?
Yeah, I mean, you can see how important it is because it takes 2 rounds being drawn at once for us to be asked to do a live FA Cup draw show. 10 years, never done one. No, I agree in some regards because I think there's so much in place and so much more planning and long-term thinking that needs to be done this season. So, for example, we always talk, me and Chris talk about this quite a lot about what if. So you get through a round or 2 of the FA Cup, and then you're only a handful of games away from the final, etc. But if you can let's say, for example, you get a half decent team in this round, but you've got the chance to get an absolute dead rubber in the round that follows. Well, then actually, you then potentially go, okay, well, if we go a little bit stronger in this game, we can actually ease off in the game after that, and you can still find a way to progress through. So I do feel as though having a little bit of a charted route through the competition certainly plays could play into our favour, and certainly plays into the big team's favour a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. Chris, by the way, the answer to your question, why are they at Stockport on the BBC, is because they're playing West Ham tonight after the draw, which does make a lot of sense. So that's a big game for Stockport. From a fan's perspective...
Oh, God, the fixture they're in is going to be a nightmare to read, isn't it?
What?
Stockport or West Ham versus such and such or such and such, potentially versus such and such, such and such or such and such or such and such.
It's fixture section. Now they're now talking to the Chorley boss. But Chris, from a fan perspective as well, will the result of this draw effectively change or make or break how arsed you are about this competition overall? Because if I know tonight, if we get Chorley followed by the winner of Stockport versus West Ham, or the winner of Crawley versus whoever they play, and you've got the potential there, you've got, if you get lucky, you've got 2 games on the run potentially, and suddenly you're in a quarter-final. So, and then I suppose the FA Cup in general becomes a lot more interesting to Liverpool fans.
Yeah, it's something Sam Walker always says, a mate of ours, doesn't he? He says the cups are won and lost on the draw. And you can almost see that with this. And he's right all the time, of course, because I think Manchester City probably have a few more trophies on the sideboard because of the draws that they've had over the last few years in some of the competitions. Not all of them, you know what I mean? And they probably would have gone on and won some of these trophies anyway. I'm not going down the route of they only won those competitions because they got those draws, but they've had easy draws at times. Liverpool could do with a little bit of that. You know, we always seem to get a Manchester United and Everton's and all these Chelsea's and Arsenal's. We seem to get one of them every single year, you know, and, you know, sometimes year after year. So, look, I like the idea. I think it helps Klopp. I think it's important this season that he can chart a way through and manage his squad. Because it's all well and good, but when's the fourth round? Is it before a Manchester City game, or is it blah blah blah? So, in the context of the season, knowing who you are facing and what games you're playing either side helps Klopp to manage the squad through the season, and it helps every manager. It's not just Klopp.
Yeah, well, we can look at the fixtures now. They've still not started with the draw yet. So the fourth round is set to be played next weekend. So we play Man United, obviously, this weekend. Then we play Burnley on Thursday the 21st. And then the fourth round comes between the Burnley game and then the Tottenham game, which is on the 28th. So depending on who we draw there, obviously, I think it's fair to say that he's going to prioritise the league no matter what happens in this fourth round draw. I think, you know, Burnley now suddenly becomes a must-win game. Man United's obviously already a must-win game. And then following that, you've got Tottenham, which is a tough away trip. And then that comes up, following that, you've got West Ham away on Sunday the 31st. So, you know, there's a run of tough fixtures coming up in the league. Now, the next round, the fifth round, is as a bunch of midweek fixtures. So that comes the week beginning the 8th of February. So that will be sandwiched in between Manchester City at home and Leicester away. So again, that's another tough...
Just proves me points.
Couple of fixtures, exactly, Chris. You know, that it's sandwiched in between, and really, you know, bar getting somebody like Crawley or Stockport or Chorley, you know, if you get a Premier League side in the fifth round between those two fixtures, it's going to be a tough ask to ask Jurgen to take that as seriously as he can, Paul, isn't it? You know, given the context of the fixtures either side of it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the flip opposite of all of this is that it just lets Jurgen know exactly which teams he's fucking off. Like, you know, in what games he's completely sacking off, where the rest's coming for the big boys. You know, you got the likes of Queven Callagher's going to be sat glued to this because he knows that he's got there's potentially 2 games of football that he's going to be playing for us. Takumi Minamino, desperate to find out who we've got. Mo Salah, probably not so arsed. You know, there's definitely checks and balances to this kind of thing. But yeah, look, to be honest, you know, the good thing about the FA Cup this year, and we've not been able to say this for a while, and I wasn't saying this even a couple of weeks ago, is that I think the nature of the fixtures and the nature of the season means at the moment we could actually do with a couple of extra games just to rotate the squad a bit and get some minutes into a number of legs. So yeah, you know, the FA Cup for the first time in a while actually feels more useful than it has done in recent years. So I'm quite excited about this in a way that I haven't really felt for a long time, until we inevitably draw City and Chelsea back to back, in which case you can get in the bin straight away.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, just before the draw looks like it's starting to get underway, so I might just have to cut off here, but in build on Paul's point about the players, you know, Wijnaldum published an interview. There was an interview published with him yesterday on the official Liverpool website, and he's talked about that. You know, this is a trophy that this squad hasn't won, so the players are actually quite invested in maybe having a cut run this season. He said at the beginning of the season we wanted to play for everything. We did well against Villa. Hopefully we can do that well in the next round, because this is a competition we also want to win. We have won a lot, but the FA Cup we haven't won, so we want to do it. So, you know, I think maybe a lot of the players, not just the players who are kind of more nailed on to getting the teams for the FA Cup games, but like maybe the players realise the significance of the FA Cup and, you know, and want to have a run in it.
Yeah, they might do, but like they might have done last season when Klopp fielded the kids, mate. It doesn't really matter. Klopp decides whether we win this competition or not, doesn't he? I mean, how many times over the years has Klopp just put a crap side out? And for as much as Gino Wijnaldum wants to win the FA Cup, he's not on the field to do it. So
it's
no, I totally get it, and you're right.
If the players are invested, it makes all the difference. I mean, they didn't look that invested for the first half on Friday night, to be fair.
No, and look, I want every player, and that just tells me that Liverpool have recruited right over the last few years. The mentality of every player should be, well, it shouldn't even matter if they've won the competition or not, to be honest. It should be like, I want to win it again, or I've never won it, I want to win it. You know what I mean? That's what you'd expect from Liverpool. It's why we became so good, isn't it? You know, that hunger and wanting to win. I can see Crouchy putting the balls in, Ben, so I'll leave you to it, mate.
The Crouchy is putting the balls in. The famous red sack has been emptied. Do with those, do with those innuendos what you will.
This is misses in the changes with him.
He's done his Rod Stewart
What's he
impression.
doing? Oh, that was a hand and a half there.
He's done his Rod Stewart impression. Right, Peter Crouch. First name out of the hat is 32, which is Cheltenham Town. We'd take these. I'd take these.
Yeah, good.
Cheltenham Town at home to.
All the dyslexic Liverpool fans thought we'd been drawn then.
25, Man City. For God's sake.
Wow, already? That was quick. All right,
there you go,
Man City. There you go.
Round.
Right, next up.
Manchester turns off BBC Two.
Now, number 7.
Thank you very much.
Bournemouth at home to. Who have we got?
Do you reckon Peter Crouch has been dared to
Crawley.
draw the balls like a tit?
Well, I mean, it's a long way down for him, isn't it?
It is.
No, but he doesn't need to make it any harder by reaching up as high as he possibly can before doing it.
Taking off Rod
it.
Stewart. He's taking off Rod Stewart, that classic clip from a couple of years ago.
Oh,
that's what he's doing.
He just wants to go viral, doesn't he? He knows his role.
Quick, though. I tell you what, it makes a big difference when you don't have to unscrew a ball.
By the by. Number 8, that's Man United at home too.
The Champions League can learn a little bit of this, by the way.
23.
The speed that the crowd,
Liverpool.
full size, trying to tighten
Yeah, told you. Fucking Man United.
For God's sake, so there you have it. Liverpool have been drawn away at Man United in the 4th round of the FA Cup. You just knew that was going to happen. Blinking heck.
2 weekends on the bounce.
Manchester United, Burnley, Manchester United again. Sounds.
For God's sake.
Stops to breathe him, Crouch, does he?
I know. Southampton or Shrewsbury versus Arsenal. I mean, I've significantly lost interest a little bit now because I'm just sort of going around in my head about the fact that we've got to travel away to Man United. Brilliant.
Yeah. We're going to get Tottenham or City in the 5th.
29. They're playing
100%.
Norwich.
Right, well, let's talk about fuck the rest of the draw off for now, Ben. Okay. Let's talk about the game.
Yeah, let's talk about the game. So that brings us to. So the run of fixtures will be Man United this weekend, Burnley, Man United away, Tottenham Hotspur. So 2 big games against Man United on the way suddenly now. Chris, it's a sigh of exasperation. I've got to say, it would have been nice. I
don't mind it. I don't mind it too much, to be honest, because it's Manchester United, and games against Man United are always good, and you always look forward to them. You don't fear games against Manchester United, even though they're a good side. Like, let me be honest. I don't think we're going to win the cup this year because I think Jürgen may just park that one because it's before Tottenham and stuff as well. But you never know. He might surprise us. I hope he might surprise us. Or will he surprise us?
Yeah, interesting. Some of the comments coming in here. Jonathan Seller said, all right, now we can sack it off. And Jaden Green saying it's scripted. Eggy Fogg saying, Crouch looking like a thirsty giraffe pulling their numbers. I don't mind Man United, to be honest. I was joking. I'd rather Man United than Man City, to be honest. I mean, just obviously because City are much a better side than United. We've got a massive hoodoo at Old Trafford.
That was just what I was about to ask in terms of we've got another opportunity there every year. Obviously, for other reasons than being it being the biggest game of our season, but I really dread particularly going away to Old Trafford. It's a similar block we seem to have as Everton have coming to Anfield in the sense of I was watching the 4-1 from 2009 yesterday. That was just on Sky, and I just flicked that on, and we've only won once away at Old Trafford since 2009, and that was in 13-14. Which just boggles the mind, really. I suppose it's another chance, even though it won't be in the league. It's another chance, isn't it, Paul, to maybe improve our record there. Chelsea versus Luton. So there you go. We've been done over.
Yeah, the Evs still left to come out. It's be interesting to see if they get a nice,
Leicester,
comfortable bye
Brentford
through.
still in there. Doncaster are playing West Ham or Stockport. Everton, Leicester would be nice. One of them two can knock each other out. 24. That's Brentford.
What are we looking for? 10 and 17 is Everton and Leicester, is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
What's left, isn't it?
So it's only Sheffield
Wednesday.
Brentford, Leicester.
Okay,
Sheffield Wednesday. I think Sheffield
I
Wednesday.
tell you what,
home. It was
Peter
home.
Crouch needs to fucking do the Champions League or the speed of this bad boy.
Yeah, he's been told. Look, he's a pro, isn't he? You know, he's a televisual pro now. We've got 2 draws to go. No,
Yeah.
don't
somebody in
don't
his
rest
ear.
on them
There's
balls.
Somebody's in here. Look,
But,
we need
like,
to keep going.
Why the fucking Champions League do it in a Kinder egg?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why can't they just have a ball like that? Why do they have to open up the balls?
They're the opposite, Chris. They want it to be drawn out. They want to be able to fulfill the X amount of space. Yeah. Good super chat here from Side Bandstead with $4.99. Thank you so much, Simon. Are we a top team or not? Why do we want to avoid big teams like we are a timid, shy animal? Let's have some positivity. No, I agree. I think you've missed the point a bit, Simon. Is that more that it's just be nice to just get a couple of piss draws. Although that being said, we had that last year, and then we went to Chelsea and got beat. So I don't mind. I don't mind us getting some games. At least it means that there's no. I don't think there can be any excuses. There's no chance we get complacent. I mean, again, you mentioned it there. The first half against the Villa kids felt a little bit like a team that was just very aware of their place and their role and all that kind of stuff by comparison to these infants. Whereas, you play Manchester United and doesn't matter whether it's the FA Cup or whatever, there's a massive pressure on there. That's why we rise to the occasion whenever we play Everton in the FA Cup, apart from when Dan Gosling plays.
I mean, look, I think the thing is, I don't think Jurgen particularly minds, to be honest. I mean, he might be rolling his eyes at the fact that it's Man United and there's extra sort of gravitas to that, but I think what Jurgen's going to play a relatively weakened team regardless of who we get, and I think Jurgen's mentality is if we win, great, but if not, I'm not too bothered, and I think that's just about where I sit on the FA Cup in general. But I think, the difference is it's not that I'm particularly wanting to avoid Man United, it's just that I know that Jurgen Klopp isn't going to play the strongest 11 no matter who we play, so we've got a better chance of going through if we're playing somebody like Crawley. That's my only sort of caveat to it. I don't mind playing Man United. It's an exciting tie. I'd probably be more interested in that game than I would be if we were playing Chorley. But can we just
for
the sake of going through?
Yeah, can we just draw a little attention to the fact that David Moyes looks like a man in the middle of a midlife crisis trying to recapture his youth? He's like, hello, all right, fellow young people, I'm here for the cup draw. Like,
hello, fellow youth. So we have some stats here.
I've been sent as well.
I think they've just wheeled him, haven't they? I mean, because West Ham are there anyway. They've thought, oh, David, while you're here, you're not doing much else. We've got some stats.
He's getting the old band back together. He's tapping up Osman, lads. That's what it is. He's mad. Osman's there doing it. He's like, I'll get the band back together for West Ham one more time. One more run, please.
He's probably better than half of West Ham's midfield.
What's Jagielka doing?
Mm.
He's getting relegated with Sheffield United. He can't get a game because they haven't got enough subs. That's what Phil Jagielka's doing. Right, so we have got some stats here, some rather depressing stats from the FA Cup from Liverpool's perspective. Ian Doyle tweeting, Liverpool have now been drawn against Premier League opposition 17 times in 26 domestic cup draws under Jurgen Klopp. Of the 12 opponents that Jurgen Klopp has faced in the FA Cup specifically, 9 of them have been in the Premier League. So we're not making it up. This is a real thing, it feels,
Oh, look, I'm just a shithouse when it comes to cup draws anyway. I just want to get the easiest, and have done for years and years. That's fine with me.
Goes for the same for the Champions League, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just a shithouse when it comes to cup draws. It's not that I don't think Liverpool are good or I don't think Liverpool are a big club. I just want the easiest way to the final because I want to win a trophy. You draw Premier League sides this early on in the competition, you're less likely to win the trophy. It's kind of that simple, and it's been that simple for however long since we've last won the trophy. 2006 is a long time ago, isn't it, for us, our last FA Cup win? It's ridiculous. 15 years. It's 2021 now, isn't it? It's ridiculous for a club of our stature. We want to be getting there. I think it gives us a better chance if we get those easy draws. But also this season, and specifically sort of talking to Side Bandstead here, because with the Super Chat, I get that. This year's different again. Even if you're all bravado every other year, this year you'll probably be a little bit more on like me, because there's just so many games in such a short space of time and stuff like that. We're managing a squad as well as a league campaign, and we're struggling at the moment with form. So I think obviously you'd want the easier draw this time around.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have minded the fifth round, because at least you've got a couple of weeks. You can turn your form round in a couple of weeks.
No, I agree.
Right now, it feels like a bad time.
I was saying to Ross, I did the news today with Ross, and even though it's probably practically the worst season for me to be feeling like this for the first time, and I don't know whether it's similar, because similar reasons to what Wijnaldum was saying in that interview, but this year more than the previous years, I felt a little bit more invested in the cup. It'd be nice to have a cup run. Fans might be back in stadiums by May, and a few of us might be able to have a day out to Wembley and go to a cup final and do all that. But it doesn't look like that's going to be. Well, I mean, unless we beat Man United, of course. I mean, they're going to do the fifth round draw now, so we're about to find out what comes next. But for the first time in a few years, I was feeling a little bit more invested in potentially having a cup run, Paul.
Yeah. There's an interesting synergy, and I felt this last year, but it never came to fruition, of course. But to bookend the season with a trip to Wembley, obviously defeated in the Community Shield, so to go back there and win the FA Cup, Liverpool have got a little bit of unfinished business. We haven't got a great record at Wembley. It's been a bit of a shit ground for us, in quite a lot in recent times. So, yeah, I mind. And again, you just keep your options open at this point, don't you? At the minute, provided Liverpool have got the players, then use them, because if we've even just got this amount of players fit, we've got too many players to keep up to speed. So yeah, I see no real problem with it, to be honest, for now. But yeah,
we have a fifth round draw kicking off. Are we number 4? Are we? That was going to be my next question.
We're number 4, yeah.
So number 11.
We had a little super chat there as well, by the way.
Go ahead, Chris.
At least City got a hard draw for once. Oh wait, Josh, shouldn't go ahead, lad.
Fulham or Burnley versus Bournemouth versus Crawley. Right, okay. We have number 4. It's us.
Oh,
so we've potentially got a home draw in the fifth round if we beat Man United against
Man City. Watching.
The 14.
Leicester.
Stockport or West Ham or Doncaster Rovers.
I told you, Stockport, West Ham. The most complicated draw possible.
That is complicated.
But you could have had Southampton, Shrewsbury as well, mate.
So then,
even longer.
If we go back to what we were talking about at the beginning, does that change for you? For Jurgen Klopp, does that change your approach to the Man United game? Because because West Ham never do well in the cups, so you've got a genuine chance there of getting either Cheltenham or Doncaster in the fifth round.
Did they knock us out, or did we knock them out?
They knocked us out in 2016. One of the years, I don't know. But
Did you say that game's in between Manchester City and Tottenham?
Leicester away.
Leicester and Tottenham.
Does that mean a no? Is that a no?
It's either way. I'd rather have a break in between those two games, to be honest. Is City the first game of those two?
City is City. We are at home to Man City on I've got to find the right tab. This is a nightmare. We are at home to Man City as it stands on February 6th, which is a Saturday. That's not been changed for TV yet, so that could potentially be the Sunday 4:30, because they tend to put the biggest games at that time. And then you've got Leicester away on Saturday the 13th, the following week. So you could end up playing, I don't know, what would it be? Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, or Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday that week. I mean, it's no real difference to a Champions League week, and he'd rotate if you were playing somebody like Chester.
Still, it's two big games in the league, that, against two very, very good sides. Look, if you could play the fifth round the week after, I'd be much more interested in playing the FA Cup. But as it's sandwiched between the two, it does make me think actually losing's not that bad.
The week after that, we've got Leipzig away in the Champions League, and then Everton on the 20th at home. So,
okay, take that back. Sounds like we've got a lot of fixtures on the go there.
We do.
Sounds like the perfect time for a fifth round draw.
You go through against Manchester United. That's the first thing. You then decide what you're going to do, don't you? I want us to go through. I want us to beat Manchester United. That's why I want us to go through. I want to knock them out. It's one less trophy that they can win this season, and then deal with the others when you get to it. You know what I mean? And if you have to play a weekend side in the fifth because the league's dead important to you, so be it, man.
And there is a potential, Paul, just to sort of round off, that there's a possibility here that we can go out and beat Man United home and away in the space of 2 weeks. That sounds all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the world we all want to live in. Let's be honest. Look, that's the thing about all of this is that if you get through that, none of those are potential opponents or a team that you need to go flat out against. In that fifth round. And City have got Swansea or Forest, I think, in that round, trusting that they're going to get past Cheltenham. So you've got choices. You've got choices to make around that time. Get there, see where it lies. I've said this all along. If we've got players fit, like if Jota's back and we haven't lost anyone else to injury by then. And the FA Cup's not going to hurt us, I don't think, as much as it has done in previous seasons. But yeah, we'll definitely see on that. Just before we go, Cy Banstead with the 9.99 super chat. Thank you so much again, Cy. So if Stockport beat West Ham, then Doncaster, and if we beat United, then it's special for me. As Stockport is my hometown club and obviously hold a special place in his heart. There you go, Cy. There you go. That's why we need to take it seriously for your love of.
Get on the blower.
And then we can
Jurgen
trample
Klopp.
your hometown club. We just want to trample your hometown club, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, guys, we will leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody who watched. It is Man United away for Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round next weekend, potentially followed by Stockport, Doncaster or West Ham, but we'll cross that bridge as and when. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks, Paul and Chris.
Before we go,
Thanks.
sorry. We are going to be doing a reaction show over on the redmentv.com very shortly. So, yeah, if you want a little bit more time when we've had a little bit of time to digest it, then, yeah, do go over and sign up on the website. And, yeah, that'll be up a little bit later on tonight if you want to check that out.
I should have said that myself, but, the experts. Leave it to the experts. That's why I'm normally not in the studio. There you go. Thanks, everybody who tuned in. We'll see you on the website if you head over there. See you later.